If you want to grow jacaranda trees from seeds, keep watching this video. I'll show you 2 different ways to prepare your seeds and the most effective that I've found to do so. So your first step is to go and collect some seed pods. They will look like this one, same color, same texture, but you don't want them opened up at all yet. If you see a small seam on the side, they are perfect to pick. To get your seeds out, tap on the side of the pod, pull it apart, hit it with a hammer. Whatever you do, just remember that these are feather light seeds and will blow away in the wind if you're not careful and set up in the wrong spot. So the 2 methods of seed preparation I'm going to show you here for jacarandas revolve around controlling water availability as well as humidity for your seeds. The first method is the most common method for sowing jacaranda seeds, and that is to pre-soak them in water for 24 hours prior to sowing. So I popped these seeds in water, gave them a stir around, and I left these guys sit before I sowed them out into potting mix. The second method revolved around controlling not only moisture, but the humidity available to my seeds. So I placed these seeds on damp paper towel, and I placed them in a plastic bag in the top of my cupboard for about a week, and I sealed the plastic bag. I did come back after a day or so, just to remove the top coating of paper towel off the seeds, to make sure that I wasn't damaging root hairs when I transplanted them later on. After 24 hours, my seeds soaked in water were placed inside my seed tray. You can see here that I've dibbled a small indent in the top of the soil to plant the jacaranda seeds in. I placed about 2 seeds in every cell, and the tray that the seeds were sitting in had a small amount of water in the bottom, so the water wicked up from the bottom instead of watering from the top, which had the potential to wash away the seeds. So in this first tray here, you can see the results 11 days into our experiment. We have a limited amount of growth. You can see in a number of these different cells, we've got seeds starting to germinate, but we don't have full leafy green tips coming out. An alternative to that is our seeds sown in controlled conditions in our plastic bag. You can see, as I stated, I removed the paper layer from the top. Each and every one of these seeds has germinated. You can see small shoots on top. You can see the seed coat left on the tray, and you can see the fine root hairs on the bottom of those seedlings. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to pot these up successfully, because this transplant phase is where you may lose some of these seedlings. So the first step is just to dibble a hole in each and every cell. You can see here I go about to the first knuckle, and that's just to make sure that we get all of those root hairs, or that root of the plant, into the soil. Once I've placed the root gently in, so I'm going to separate them slowly from the paper towel, or gently from the paper towel. I'm going to lower the bottom half, which is the hairy part of that seedling, into the soil, and I'll gently just push it around so it maintains an upright position. It's important that we don't push too hard because we don't want to damage the root hairs, but we want to make sure that we're getting enough moisture around those root hairs so that these little seedlings can uptake nutrients and uptake water. You can't actually see the root hairs clearly on here, but you can clearly distinguish between the 2 parts of the plant. So now I'll pot the rest of these up, and I'll show you a direct comparison after a few weeks, giving each of these an opportunity to take root, take up their own nutrients, and thrive in the conditions that they've been established in. So here's the final results of our experiment. We've got about a 60% germination rate of those in controlled conditions on the paper towel in the top of the cupboard, versus about a 50% germination rate of those that were pre-soaked overnight. Now just remember, jacarandas are massive trees, so a 10% difference here or there is quite small, but they require much less effort when you can pop them in a bag and leave them for 10 days and not have to worry about them. So the only thing left to do now is go find some pods and test out one of these methods so you can grow your own beautiful jacaranda trees